Something extraordinary is unfolding in the sky, and it begins tonight. In less than 24 hours, a new moon will form in the final degrees of Pisces, the very last sign of the zodiac, the one that closes an entire cycle before everything begins again. But this is no ordinary new moon. It arrives just hours before the spring equinox, that precise moment when light reclaims its dominion over darkness, when all of nature stirs back to life after months of stillness. And this convergence is anything but coincidental. But wait, that's not even the most significant part. What makes this night in March truly unique is an alignment humanity hasn't witnessed in over 300 years. Saturn and Neptune are meeting in exact conjunction at the very first degree of Aries, the 0 point of the zodiac, where everything begins. The last time these two forces united in this sign was in 1703, 3 centuries, 13 generations, and tonight that door opens again. The garden metaphor. Imagine your life as a garden. For months, perhaps years, you've let things grow without really choosing what deserves to stay. Weeds have tangled with flowers, and somewhere along the way, you accepted that disorder as normal. Tonight's new moon acts like the first day of spring for that inner garden. It invites you to consciously decide what you want to see bloom in the new year ahead. Because in astrology, the true new year doesn't begin in January. It begins now with the sun's entry into Aries on March 20th. The wishes you set in the coming hours will become seeds for everything that grows over the next 12 months. 3 revelations are hidden within this celestial configuration, 3 keys that most people will completely overlook. The first concerns your oldest dreams. The second touches an illusion you've mistaken for certainty, and the third could redefine your entire understanding of what it truly means to make a wish. The power of this new moon. Let's begin by understanding why this night is unlike any other new moon you've experienced. Every month, the moon disappears from the sky for a few hours. It goes dark, invisible, and in that moment of complete blackness, a new cycle begins. Most people don't even notice. They're sleeping, scrolling, living their routines. Yet every new moon is a blank page offered by the universe, a pristine space where anything can be rewritten. But the new moon of March 17th doesn't simply offer you a blank page. It offers you an entire book. Here's why. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. When a new moon forms in this sign, it carries within it the memory of every cycle that came before, all 11 signs, their lessons, their trials, their quiet victories, and their still open wounds. This is a moon of endings. But it is precisely because it is an ending that it holds such radical power of beginning. You cannot write a new chapter until you've turned the page on the previous one. And Pisces, with its deep connection to the waters of the unconscious, takes care of that work for you. It dissolves, cleanses, and releases the anchor of what no longer belongs to you. Saturn conjunct Neptune. The conjunction between Saturn and Neptune amplifies this in a way I need to explain carefully, because it sits at the very heart of this night's power. Saturn is the planet of structure, discipline, and the real, the builder, the architect, the one who transforms plans into solid foundations. Neptune, at the opposite end, is the planet of dreams, intuition, and the invisible, the visionary, the poet, the one who perceives what eyes cannot see. Normally, these two forces work separately. The dreamer dreams, the builder builds, each in their own corner. But tonight, for the first time in 323 years in the sign of Aries, they merge. Dream and reality cease to be opposites. They become partners. Understand what this means for you. For years, perhaps, you've felt a chasm between what you imagined for your life and what you actually lived. Your aspirations on one side, your daily reality on the other, like 2 banks of a river too wide to cross. Tonight, that river narrows. The distance between your inner vision and your outer reality shrinks until it becomes a single line you can step across. But you need to know where to place your foot. And this is where the second revelation comes in, the one about the illusion you've mistaken for certainty. There is, in your life, right now, a belief you have never questioned, not because it's true, but because it's old. It arrived so early in your story, settled so deeply into the way you see the world that you've confused it with reality itself. Perhaps it's the belief that you're not meant for lasting happiness, that beautiful things always end up slipping away from you, that you must earn what you receive through suffering, or that past a certain age, great transformations are simply no longer possible. Saturn, in its wisdom, allowed you to function with this belief for years, because Saturn respects structures, even false ones, as long as they hold together. But Neptune respects nothing that isn't authentic. Neptune is the water that seeps into the cracks of your most solid certainties. And when Saturn and Neptune meet, something paradoxical occurs. The structure that seemed indestructible reveals itself to be porous. The illusion you took for a concrete wall turns out to be a sandcastle, and the tide of this night, carried by the Pisces new moon, is about to dissolve it. That can be frightening. Of course it can. No one enjoys discovering that what they held as truth for decades was an illusion. But ask yourself this sincerely. Would you rather keep building your future on a comfortable lie, or accept a moment of discomfort in order to build on a foundation of truth? The people who will feel this night most intensely are not necessarily the most spiritual or the most advanced on their path. They're the ones carrying an unresolved tension within them. You know what I'm talking about, that silent pull between the life you're living and the life you feel is truly yours. That fatigue that isn't physical but existential. That diffuse feeling that something needs to change without being able to name exactly what. If you recognize that sensation, know this. The new moon has already found you. It didn't arrive in your life by accident. It's answering a call you sent out, perhaps without even knowing it. And Mercury retrograde, accompanying this lunation in its final phase, acts as a messenger bringing back the answers you'd been searching for in the wrong place. Mercury isn't going backward to punish you. It's going backward to show you what you missed by moving too fast. A sign you didn't see, a word you didn't hear, a door you walked past without noticing. Over the past few weeks, you may have experienced inexplicable delays, unusual misunderstandings, situations from the past resurging without warning. That wasn't bad luck. That was Mercury clearing the path, sweeping away the dead branches so you could clearly see what lies beyond. And in the coming hours, at the precise moment this new moon reaches its peak intensity, that hidden door will light up. But before I explain how to step through it, you need to understand the third revelation, the one that touches the very nature of wishes. And I want to warn you, what I'm about to say contradicts nearly everything you've ever read or heard on the subject. The true secret of this new moon is not knowing what to ask for. It's knowing what to release before you ask. And this distinction, as simple as it may sound, is the reason why some people see their wishes manifest while others wait indefinitely. You've probably heard the idea that to receive, you must first make space. You've had it repeated in books, in videos, in conversations, until it became a cliché, a phrase you say without truly feeling it. But tonight, that truth stops being a theory. It becomes an almost tangible physical force. Let me give you an image. Imagine you're holding something precious in each hand, something you've been gripping for so long that your fingers have closed around it without you even noticing. In your left hand, an old dream that no longer resembles who you are. In your right hand, an ancient resentment, a forgiveness you've never given, perhaps to someone else, perhaps to yourself. Both hands are full, and now the universe stands before you with the most beautiful gift it has ever prepared for you. But you cannot receive it, not because you're unworthy, simply because your hands are already occupied. The third revelation is this: a wish is not an addition, It is an exchange. Every intention you set tonight requires a free space in which to settle. And that space is not created by wanting more intensely. It is created by releasing what currently occupies it. This is why so many people make sincere wishes at every new moon, with genuine fervor, and never see anything manifest. Their intentions are beautiful, but they're arriving into a room that's already cluttered. Like trying to plant a tree in a pot that still holds the dead roots of the last one. The seed simply has no room to take hold. And this is exactly what tonight's configuration makes possible in an exceptional way. The Pisces new moon naturally dissolves attachments that no longer serve your evolution. Saturn gives you the courage and discipline to face what you need to release. Neptune softens the process by reminding you that letting go isn't abandonment, it's an act of trust in life itself. And the equinox, arriving just hours after, guarantees that the space you freed won't remain empty. It will be filled immediately by the energy of spring's renewal. Dissolution, liberation, renewal. 3 movements in less than 72 hours. As if the cosmos had orchestrated this sequence with the precision of a master clockmaker. Now let me speak to what your body already knows, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. Over the past few days, some of you have been experiencing unusual signals, a heavy fatigue that no physical effort explains, dreams of rare intensity, sometimes so vivid that upon waking you need a few seconds to distinguish dream from reality. Old emotions rising without warning, a forgotten sadness, an anger you thought you'd moved past, a nostalgia for a moment you can't even name, and perhaps a heightened sensitivity, as if the world around you has suddenly become louder, brighter, more intense. These are not signs of weakness. They are signs that your energetic system is preparing for a deep update. Your body is sensing the approach of this new moon the way animals sense a storm long before the first lightning splits the sky. It is an ancient instinct, older than language, more reliable than thought. And if you're feeling it, that's proof that you are exactly where you need to be. But there's a trap many fall into, and I want you to avoid it. Faced with the intensity of this night, some people will be tempted to want to change everything at once. Quit a job tomorrow morning, end a relationship tonight, send an impulsive message to someone they haven't contacted in years. The combined energy of Mars in Pisces and Mercury retrograde creates a powerful, almost irresistible urge to act immediately. But remember this, impulse is not the same as intuition. Impulse is loud, urgent, impatient. Intuition is calm, deep, certain. Impulse says, do it now or never. Intuition says, you know what's right, and the right moment will come. This night is not made for impulsive decisions. It is made for conscious intentions. The difference is immense. An impulsive decision comes from the fear of missing the moment. A conscious intention comes from the trust that the moment is already working for you. So, how do you concretely set your wishes in the most aligned way with the energies of this new moon? The first gesture is not to write, it is to empty. Before formulating a single wish, take a moment to identify what you are ready to release. Not what you should release, according to logic or other people's advice, but what your heart, in its depths, knows it's time to let go. It might be a habit that reassures you but keeps you imprisoned, a relationship that has stopped nourishing you, a role you play out of obligation that no longer fits who you've become, or simply a way of speaking to yourself that doesn't serve you, that inner voice that constantly reminds you of what you haven't accomplished instead of recognizing how far you've come. Once you've identified that release, just one is enough. Let it be your first act of this night. Some write it on paper and burn it. Others whisper it softly while looking up at the sky. Others entrust it to water, running a warm bath and visualizing everything that must go, flowing away with the current. The ritual matters little. The intention is everything. Then, and only then, formulate your wish. One wish, not a list. One wish centered not on what you want to have, but on what you want to become. Remember the first revelation. Pisces responds to essence, not to form. Tell the universe who you choose to be in this new astrological year and let it take care of the details. You don't need special crystals, candles of a specific color, or an altar built according to codified rules. All of that can accompany your practice, if you wish, and that's entirely respectable. But the only thing that is truly indispensable is your sincerity. A wish made from the heart, barefoot on your kitchen floor, outweighs 1,000 mechanical rituals performed in the most beautiful of temples. And here is something no one will tell you. The most powerful moment of this night is not when you formulate your wish, it's the silence that follows. That suspended instant when you've said what you had to say, when you've opened your heart, and all that remains is to breathe, to let the words dissolve into the moonless sky, to trust. That silence is the cosmos answering you, saying, "I heard." The equinox of March 20th, arriving just hours after this new moon, acts as sunlight for your intentions. The sun enters Aries, the first sign, the sign of fire, of momentum, of pure beginning. What you planted in the darkness of Pisces will receive its first light with the arrival of spring. This is why this window is so rare. You are not planting in just any soil. You are planting in the last night of winter at the exact threshold of dawn. The seed and the sun arrive at the same time. The conditions are perfect.
And Saturn, having just entered Aries for the next 2 years, promises something essential. What you build from tonight will not be a flash in the pan. Not a passing euphoria, not an enthusiasm that collapses in a few weeks. Saturn builds to last. What you decide to become tonight, if you decide it with authenticity, will become the backbone of your new existence. Stone by stone, day by day, with the patience that only Saturn has mastered. So tonight, when the sky goes dark and the moon has disappeared, remember what you've learned here. You are not making a simple wish. You are planting the first seed of an entire year. And that seed asks for no perfection, no expertise, no special merit. It asks only for your truth. Remember the 3 revelations. Your most powerful wishes describe what you want to feel, not what you want to possess. There is within you an ancient belief you have confused with reality, and this night can dissolve it. And above all, before asking anything of the universe, open your hands by releasing what encumbers them. A wish is not an addition, it is a sacred exchange. The conjunction of Saturn and Neptune at the 0 point of Aries will not repeat for 300 years. The equinox will not follow a Pisces new moon with this proximity again for a very long time. Tonight, these forces converge for you, not for humanity in general, for you in the intimacy of your heart, in the silence of your home. The universe does not often knock on the door with this kind of insistence. When it does, the only possible mistake is not opening it. Trust what you feel. Trust the silence. Trust the seed you are about to place in the dark earth of this moonless night. Spring will do the rest. If this video has awakened something in you, I ask one simple thing. Leave a comment sharing what you've decided to release tonight, or the wish you're going to set. Your words might be the spark someone else needs. Hit the like button, because everyone helps this video reach those who need it and haven't found us yet. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Every video represents hours of passionate research and work, and your support is what allows us to keep walking alongside you at every step of your journey.